Good morning, everybody. I know a lot of you I haven't seen in a while, but welcome. So we're going to get started here in Bethel, Alaska is where I'm filming this. I work at the hospital here. I'm in the clinic today, but a lot of the filming is going to be all over it, maybe at my housing, where they're housing me here, or who knows. So follow along, and it's going to change. It is 5 in the morning, so that's usually when I'll be videoing these. Yes, that means I get up at 4 in the morning, so you got to carve out time in the day. And like I said in the previous video for setting goals, is if I don't get something done in the morning, it doesn't get done. So we're going to start working, and I apologize if my skirt is wrinkled, but I have to wear ski pants to work, so everything suffers, right? So take a last sip of your tea or whatever, and we'll get started. Okay, good. We're gonna do Pilates, bar, yoga, Tai Chi. I'll mix them up a little bit, but pretty much I'll stay with that schedule because this whole program is meant to take you from a high place to a low place so that you can meditate. So we're gonna go from the outside world, we're pulling it in with Pilates, and then a bar. These are very mindful, and it takes you from a place of scatteredness into a place of inner awareness so that you can prepare for meditation. Meditation is a really hard place to hit because we are so scattered. It's hard to go down to the depths of that practice. And hopefully this whole program is built to take you to, yoga was built to get you to meditation. It's meant to take the jitters out of your body, the scatteredness out of your mind, to reconnect the mind and the body back together so that you can do a spiritual practice. So let's get started. We'll start with Pilates, and I'll be taking my barrette in and out, depending on where my head is. So first we have to start with neutral spine. Place the heel of your hands on your ASIS or your hip bones here in the front, and then the fingertips go to the pubic bone, and then you can rock the pelvis back and forth, pressing the low back down, and then arching it until you reach a place in the middle where your hands get level. And for me, I have a little bit of my low back comes off the mat for that. But then we've got to bring these ribs down so ribs come together and down like you're pressing the lowest rib into the mat, and try to maintain this pelvis. And now there's a smaller space there, but that's what I want. And then shoulders down, slide the blades, your shoulder blades down your back like you're putting your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Lengthen out the neck, which engages the retractors of the neck. Take a big inhale and exhale with a ha sound. So Pilates uses a ha sound on the exhale. We use the exhale when we couple it with effort. Exhale with the effort. E, E. Exhale, effort. Those go together always. Oh, by the way, we are going to work on losing 20 pounds over these 12 weeks as well. So we'll be listening to Mr. Tuna, our dietitian, and he's going to help guide us. Inhale, the belly gets big. That allows the diaphragm to descend into the organs, and the organs expand out. As you exhale with a ha, the belly contracts, the transverse abdominis contracts, the diaphragm goes up into the lungs to expel the air. Inhale, belly gets big, diaphragm goes down. Exhale, belly comes in, diaphragm pushes up into the lungs. Now you're going to slide a leg out for hover, and then lift the leg slightly off of the floor. The trick here is to level out the pelvis, which means you're probably going to have to push down into, in my case, the bent knee is the left knee. pressing down into the left hip, and then you'll feel an equalness or a levelness to the pelvis. The abdominals have to work to get that to happen. Press on a gas pedal, spread the toes wide. And I've got my hands on my pelvis, just trying to figure out where the pelvis is in space. I mean, I'm physically tactile, getting it all aligned. And then you can let go and just feel where that alignment is. This is perfect posture from your tailbone to the top of your head. So you're practicing perfect posture. You can roll the foot in, and then you're actually rolling the hip, and then turn the foot out, but using the hip joint to turn that out. As you practice this, you're learning how to separate the right leg from its hip joint, from the pelvis. So the pelvis is the hip joint. And you're just learning how to roll the leg, roll the ball in the socket. The hip joint is a ball and socket joint. So you're rolling the ball in the hip joint, which is the pelvis, keeping the pelvis very, very still. They need to learn to work separately. Many people walk as a unit, and then the back pays the price for that one. So if you have back pain, this may be the issue. Slide it in and switch. Lengthen out the other leg. Lift it. Hover, not high, because I don't want to get into the hip flexors. Lengthening out. This is ab work. Level out the pelvis by pressing down into the right hip. Lengthen out the back of the neck again. Shoulder blades down the back. Belly in. A little bit of arch in the low back. Ribs coming down. Push on the gas pedal, spread the toes, just to bring your awareness all the way down to your tippy toes. And the toes spend a lot of the day crunched up like this. And so we're countering that. These are adductors of the toes that squeeze the toes together. They get short and tight. And then when we spread them out like a starfish, we're stretching those adductors and strengthening the abductors or abductors of the foot. Lowering this hip on the right just to get it level. Shoulder blades pull down the back. We call that depressing the scapula. And that's lower trapezius work if you're keeping track. Roll the hip inward, roll the hip outward. So the toes are going out with the hip joint and then coming back straight up. And then the toes are rolling inward with the hip joint is actually what's rolling inward. Pelvis stays still like a rock. You're like a piece of concrete from your tailbone to the top of your head. Again, lengthen out the back of the neck, engage the retractors of the head, and that helps hold your head, strengthen the deep muscles of the neck. It relieves a lot of tension in the upper traps. Again, you can feel, okay, this is locked in space. The leg is moving separately. The entire leg is rolling outward and inward, moving separately from the pelvis. The lights of the gym are automatic, so if there's no one out there, they shut off. All of these cues are just to keep bringing you inside yourself, inside yourself, inside yourself. Where is my hip in space? Where is my foot in space? Where are my toes spreading? Pulling you from the chaos of the outside world into the safe space. And drop the leg and pull it in. Keeping this neutral spine, hands behind the head, lift the head and just the shoulders. So it is a little crunch here, but the low back maintains that slight back bend in it. Neutral spine, the pelvis stays level. Very difficult to do. Lift one foot. You can stay here if you want. Now we're just going to add a twist. Exhale with the effort. Inhale, release. Exhale with the effort. Pause. Inhale, release. Follow your breath inside yourself. Exhale with the effort. Inhale, release. Pause. Exhale with the effort. Curl and twist and hold. And release. Lower the leg. Other leg. Pause. Let's push on the gas pedal with the foot and spread the toes just to bring our consciousness to the foot. Pulling the belly down, driving the shoulder blades down the back, engaging the lower trapezius muscle, which is so weak on so many of us, and very responsible for how the shoulder operates. Just getting the lower trap stronger can help with any kind of shoulder pain. But its job is to depress the scapula or to pull the shoulder blades down the back so that they're stable on the back. Shoulder blades do not connect to the torso through bones, really. They float. They float because they drive up the back with the arm movements. But they need to float in the right space, or they'll create shoulder pain. Pause. Now I've changed the breath a little bit if you've noticed. Exhale with the effort as you pull up. I'm inhaling at the top. Exhaling, lowering down. Lowering down can be hard too. Or effort. Inhaling at the bottom. So either pattern. And release. Right leg goes up to the sky. Try to hold the neutral spine. So that means you're pulling the tailbone down towards the floor to regain the levelness in the pelvis, regaining your arch in the low back, bringing the low front ribs together and down. And you're just going to do a little circle. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now the trick here is to keep the pelvis in concrete, so maybe hold the hips. The abs are having to work to hold the pelvis still. They attach all along the rim of the pelvis. Or the transverse abdominis does, which is your deep abdominal muscle. Shoulder blades down the back, lengthen the neck. Now your foot can't go straight up towards the sky. Do you see how my low back just dumps into the mat? I've got to maintain perfect posture or neutral spine. And to do that, you're going to have to lower the leg a little. 2 more. And release. Other leg. I want you to feel like you've got this neutral concrete going on. You're not moving in space. You can bring the arms down. Inhale. Sniff at the top. Exhale, circle. Inhale at the top of the circle. Pressing down a little bit into the bent knee, hip. just to keep the pelvis level. Inhale. And release. We'll do 3 teasers. So knees come up to tabletop. Inhale. Exhale, chin comes to the Adam's apple and then roll up. I'm holding the legs. You can do that. Inhale at the top. Exhale down. Or you can let go. Articulating through the spine, 1 vertebra at a time drops. Chin to the chest. And then when you get to the top, try to find neutral. You can bend the knees if you need to. Exhale, tilt back. Like you're laying down a string of pearls. 1 pearl, 1 vertebra at a time hits the mat. Inhale. Exhale, chin to the Adam's apple. And then come up. Good. Ooh. Let's do a little stretch. So just a straddle stretch is really nice. We've built some heat. You're going to go, let's go forward first. And just drop your head. Breathe into your back. So you might start getting hot. But set your socks near you. We'll need those for meditation later. Because if you get cold in meditation, I think. So here you're trying to reach the front of the hip bones towards the floor or towards the thighs, however you want to see that. Or another great cue is point your tailbone towards the wall behind you. And what that does, it just tilts the pelvis forward like this, and then that gets deeper into the adductors or the inner thighs. Shoulder blades down the back, always pulling in those lower traps. Retract your head. This is a great place to strengthen the neck muscles that give us so much trouble. They're so weak. So that means you just, like a drawer, you pull it straight back. You make it. It's like making a double. It is making a double chin. It's such a great place because this 9 to 13 pound head, it is literally the size of a bowling ball. Bowling balls weigh 9, that's why they say 9 on them, 10 on them, 11, 12, 13. The bowling balls weigh exactly the same amount as our heads. So we've got it way out here on this long lever, which makes it heavier. Your neck is really having to work to hold the bowling ball up. So it's like resistance training for your neck, because you don't really want to resistance train your neck with weights. It's too fragile. But retract, this is your weight training for your neck. Shoulders up, back, and down, and then lean forward. Make a double chin. Now you can do the ujjayi breath here. Pilates needs that ha sound. It's so intense on the abs that you really have to force the air out, because the deep abs work when you do a forced exhale. Yoga has the same thing, the ujjayi. Inhale through your nose. Exhale with a ha, and then close your lips. Inhale. And exhale. Ujjayi, ha sound, lips are closed. Walk hand over hand to the right. Reach out to the foot. Somewhere, shin, whatever. Drop your head. Now let the 9 to 13 pound head just dangle down, and that's traction for the neck, which is expansion on the neck. It's giving you space between each vertebra as you let the head dangle, which gives you more space for the nerves to come out between the vertebrae. So you need strength, and you also need space in the neck. Let's bend the knee up. Reach towards the outer edge of your foot or your shin. Or you can have a belt here too. All that stuff works. And you can bend the knee up more if you can't reach the outer edge. Bring your forehead to your knee. And then work on straightening the knee. So the hand placement can be the outer edge if you really want to feel the lat. If you have plantar fasciitis, I would bring the hand over the toes like that, pulling the toes back towards your head and the ankle, the whole foot as well. And then that's going to stretch right across the plantar fascia. What I like to do is I get the plantar fascia in there, get the hand down as far as you can so you can get into the shoulder. Then push on a gas pedal. Ooh, and that just like distracts the shoulder joint. Distraction is when you pull things apart and create space in that joint. Lean into this top shoulder, lean towards it, and that will intensify the shoulder, forehead to the knee. This is compression on the front of the neck, on the thyroid. And then walk hand over hand. Now, I like to walk hand over hand because I want to go through every fiber of the hamstring back here. You can feel it shift across the hamstrings as you move slowly. You can move slower if you want. Grab the leg anywhere you want. But so if I've got my left leg, I want to reach with my right hand. So opposite hand to foot. You can reach to the outer edge. Shoulder blades down the back. Lengthen the neck and then drop it. Make your breaths as long as possible. Big inhale, feel your ribs widen, widen, widen. Start at the bottom of the rib cage and work your way up. So feel your low ribs get wider on the side. Your back expands bigger. Then the mid ribs, then the high ribs. Pausing at the top and the bottom of each breath. You can move the hands to the toes on the bottom of the foot, pulling the toes towards you. Press on a gas pedal. Lean into your top shoulder. In my case, it's the right shoulder. Or you're leaning in towards the middle of this half circle. Bend the knee up, forehead to knee. Grab the foot again, or the ankle, or the shin. Belt works really good here around the foot. And then press the knee out. Push on the gas pedal to distract the shoulder joint. Lean into the middle. Point your tailbone towards the wall behind you. Now you can't pull the shoulder blades down the back here. You got to let the shoulder blade rise. Walk hand over hand to center. We know the best stretch is 1.5 minutes or 3 times for 30 seconds, whatever you can tolerate. That's for the muscle. We're not so sure about the fascia. If you do know a number for stretching fascia, please put it in the Facebook group page so we can all learn from the research that you're reading. Let's do bar. Find a solid sink. Now we're going to take that neutral spine that we just built in Pilates, and we're going to add it to this bar. So rock through your feet, rock smaller and smaller and smaller until you come to a midpoint on your feet. You have an equal weight distribution on the ball of the big toe, the ball of the pinky toe, and the heel. First toe, fifth toe, heel. It's like a tripod, equal weight distribution. Belly in and up. Close the low front ribs. And by that I mean, okay, so you'll see this a lot, this flaring of the ribs, they point out. So pull them in and down like you're putting them into your pockets. Retract your head back on top of your spine. Shoulders up, back, and down, down. That's the lower trap. Just take a minute to sink into this mountain pose. If you want to walk in perfect posture, you have to practice perfect posture, and we are doing that throughout this whole hour. Joints love perfect posture. The arm dangles correctly from the shoulder joint. The neck sits nicely. The hips reside in their sockets at an even space. And then the organs really like perfect posture as well. They thrive. All of the joints and organs thrive in this position. When you start crumbling into these kind of positions, they get compromised. They're sitting at the front end of their socket, sitting on tissues they should not be sitting on, pressing on nerves they should not be pressing on. So this is really imperative. Now we're just going to bring the knees straight up, holding perfect posture. Pull the belly in, get tall, press down through your foot. Now with the sink, you can hold on to it or flatten the hand if you can. 2 fingers if you can do that. Actually, I'm going to dorsiflex at the ankle. Or you can touch and release. Or you can just stay here and grab the sink if you need to. Breathe. Now I'm going to bring the foot straight through and to the back. Without going into this big back bend, pull the belly in and up, close the low front ribs, still hold the perfect posture. You really only have, 10 to 20 degrees of hip extension from here to here. There's not a lot. Breathe. Now I am going to hinge forward from the standing hip slightly and pull the right hip forward. If your hip points were flashlights, they would be pointing forward, both of them. So you're not pointing this way, you're pointing straight ahead. Pull the belly button in and up. Just hinge from this standing leg, hip joint, and it starts to really work. Lift the heel a little higher towards the sky. If your back is hurting, pull the belly in and up, which lowers the back leg a little. That's fine. And then you're going to bring the leg to the side. Now the leg doesn't go completely to the side. That's not what the hip joint does, but it will come out to about, 45, 50 degrees comfortably. Tall spine, perfect posture. Place your hands on your hips, get the hips level so you're not hiking up. Hips are level. This is practice for walking, because when you walk, you've got to walk with level hips. This one leg has to be strong. Walking is a one-footed activity. You walk on one foot, then one foot, then one foot. So you have to be really strong on one leg. Pelvis forward, it's squared, level, forward, leg out, tall spine, retract your head. Breathe, this hip should be burning. Or the ankle. If the ankle is burning, that's telling you the ankle's weaker than the hip. Whichever one's weaker is going to burn first. And then release. Shake it out. Turn around. Build your mountain. We always build the mountain in yoga first. Tadasana, it's called. Big toes together, heels slightly apart, belly in and up. Retract the head. Low front ribs together. Shoulders up, back, and down. And when you go up, back, and down, the ribs have a tendency to flare back out again. You got to pull them back in and together. And that engages the upper, these are abs too, up here. When they, the transverse runs this way, so when this contracts, it pulls the ribs together. And down a little bit. Retract your head. Rock through your feet. Find perfect posture. And then you're going to shift your weight to the inside leg, the leg closest to the sink, and come up to a stork position. Dorsiflexion at the ankle. Set your pelvis again. It always wants to hike here. So level it out so that your hands are equal. Then square it to front. Then lift the knee. Keep the ribs in. Ujjayi breathing. You have to breathe like you mean it. This is a power pose. So you got to suck down some oxygen. And it's all, it's in and out through the nose here. So the Ujjayi is very helpful. If you want to add to this, bend the standing knee slightly, which is harder to balance. Either way, if you're standing here, unlock the knee ever so slightly, just so you're not hanging on the tendons or the ligaments at the back of the knee. Unlock it, get off those ligaments, and challenge your balance some more. Now we're going to come through and to the back. I'm putting my hand out. That gives me more balance. You can drop it down. That's less assistance. I'm hitting the wall. I lost my mountain pose. Always, if you fall down, you just get back up again, and you find this mountain. Again, you don't have a lot of extension on the hip. Extension is going backwards. 10, 20 degrees here. I'm focusing very hard on one point on the wall. That helps with my balance. Now hinge at the standing hip joint slightly, and you'll feel the glute engage. Belly in, ribs together, shoulders down. Don't mountain pose from the tailbone to the top of the head still. You're just going from here to here. Breathe. Squeeze this glute. Heel goes up towards the sky. Let's flex at the ankle because it's easier to lift from the heel. Like your heel's trying to touch the ceiling. Ribs in, shoulder blades down. Breathe. Let's pull it in, and we're going to go to the side. So bring it forward a little first, and then out about 50 degrees from here to here. Mountain, if you need to find the mountain again, that's fine. Belly in and up, retract your head, shoulders down. Pelvis level and squared. These are all incredibly important. This is precision work. Honestly, that's why I chose all of these. They all have something in common. They all have precision work in them, and they all have mindfulness work in them. Well, precision work is mindfulness work. To correct all of these tiny little alignments, you must come inside yourself. And that's why we're not using music. Music pulls you outside of yourself, making it more difficult to come inside. And let's add to this. You're going to turn your palm out, come to the arch of the foot. You can use a belt here too. Wrap a belt around the foot and hold it. Knees come together. Again, square, level the pelvis. It's always the same thing. Ribs together, shoulder blades down. Now move the knees touch, and then move this bent knee towards the back wall, an inch. Balance if you want to. Spread the toes. Allow the left shoulder blade to slide in towards your spine, and that will stretch the subscapularis, which is one of the, and the serratus anterior. The subscap is one of the rotator cuff muscles, very difficult to stretch. But here is one of my two favorite places. Or hold the sink, whatever you need to do. And release. We'll do it on the other side. Palm turns out, come to the inside of the arch. Pull the shoulder blade in and down. Knees touch, belly in and up. Mountain pose, ribs together. Retract your head. Square the pelvis to the front and level it. You're in perfect posture from your heel to the top of your head, and then move your knee towards the back wall, just an inch. You want this quad to stretch. Doesn't take much. If you want to try the balance, the arm goes in front just to counterbalance the weight in the back. The shoulders are not squared. The right shoulder is sliding backward. It's behind the left shoulder. So there's a little bit of rotation happening in the upper back. Not the low back, but the upper back. Belly in and up. The pelvis is squared, keeping the low back out of the rotation. Breathe like you mean it. Knee towards the wall a little more. Spread the toes. Spread your toes on both feet. Allow the shoulder blade of the right to slide towards the spine even more. Even use the middle rhomboid to pull it towards the spine. Like you're squeezing your shoulder blade in towards your spine. That's the middle rhomboid and the middle trap. And then release. So for me, my left hip started burning, but my right ankle started burning, telling me, I've got this imbalance. So you'll notice that throughout this practice is the imbalances in the body. That's fine. Awareness is always the first step. So now we want to do a little yoga. We'll come back to the mat. Let's do the upper body. We already did some low body stretching. So if you can sit in Japanese sitting style, great. If not, you want to be more here. And if not, so most of my patients, this is how I do it with them. Is I have them sit on this stool right here. And then you're just going to make a steeple, cross your thumbs, and then reach out. Now touch the steeple to the mat so that the wrists are cocked or ulnarly deviated, so it's like that. And then you can slide this stool back and drop the head. So if you want to do it you can do that on a table, Or if you're here, you can do it like this. I'll do it on the stool since I have it. There'll be other days where I won't have access to a table. The trick here is you've got to lock the elbows. Super lock them out. If you bend the elbows, you're not going to feel this very much. Now you're going to interlace all of your fingers, put the right hand on top and reach towards the right corner of your mat, or I'm just reaching out to the right about 45 degrees. And then slide the stool out. Lay your head on your shoulder, on your left shoulder. And that will give your shoulder some overpressure, and you'll feel the big lat go on a stretch. The more you scoot this chair out, the deeper you get. And the trick here is to lock the top elbow. In this case, the right, you're locking the right elbow out, super straight, and that sucks the bottom arm through. Get fascinated with your breath. Use the ujjayi, but you're not using the ujjayi as a power move here. You're using the ujjayi just to bring your awareness into that sound, and then getting mesmerized with the sound. Get fascinated with the movement of your ribs, the filling of your lungs from the bottom to the top. Inhale for maybe 5 counts, and then exhale, hold it, and then exhale for 5 counts. If you can do more, do more. Inhale 9 counts, hold it, exhale 9. That calms the whole system. You're going to switch sides. Ooh. Left hand on top. Reach left about 45 degrees. Lay your head on your shoulder. Do a big sigh. Just let it all out. Scoot your chair back some. Lock out the top elbow. These chairs are kind of fun because you can twist them around and get a different stretch. Like I'm twisting left to get the quadratus lumborum in the low back. So play with it. And then just to find different muscles. Now the elbows come down to the floor. Head drops, hands behind the neck. And then slide the... My stool is too far out. Slide the stool back. And if you're on the mat, just walk your elbows forward until you feel it along here and the tricep stretch. And just let the belly hang. You want the head off of the mat so that it gets you deeper into it. Walk the elbows towards each other. You don't want them too wide. Get them as close together as possible. Feels better at the joint. Big breathing. And then straighten the elbows. Slowly roll out of that. I'm going to do it on the mat first, but we're going to thread the needle. I thread the needle a little differently. So I love yoga, it's really good, but I change a lot of things just according to the research and how it affects it and how it feels. So thread the needle's typically done like this. Same thing, you're on all fours, left hand is sliding through, lay on the left shoulder. This is what I like to add, interlace the fingers, and then bring the hand up a little bit. So it's not straight out to the side like a T, it's more like a Y. And then lock the top elbow. Woo! That really intensifies this. And breathe. If you're on the stool, it looks like this. Yeah, if you've had a knee replacement, that's impossible to do. So, same thing, it's just a Y shape. If you can scoot back enough to get the elbow off of the table, you can go deeper into this, and the head puts more pressure onto the shoulder. This is very similar to what we just did. Lengthen the breath as long as you can. Count to 7, 8, 9, 5, whatever. Pause, hold it, allow the carbon dioxide-oxygen exchange to occur. And then when it just starts to get uncomfortable, you don't want to get uncomfortable. So when it starts to get uncomfortable, let it go. That's a life lesson, by the way. Then we're going to come up and do the other side. So if you're on all fours. And then also I always advise a pad under your knees. Those gardening pads, those kneelers for your garden, they're just like a pad about that thick. You might want to invest in one of those. They're about yay big, about that thick. And they're great for yoga. I keep them in my studio at the World Equestrian Center for everybody. Slide, and I have it here, so you're going to slide the hand through, interlace, come to a Y shape, lock the top elbow, lean into it. And then you're going to come out really slowly. Tomorrow we're going to do an amazing hip opener, my favorite. If you have low back pain, all my patients, pretty much all walk away. They'll be 8 out of 10 pain and they'll come out at a 0. So it's like, and if you're a clinician, you definitely want to learn that one tomorrow. It's like I hate to skip it. It's that good. So let's go to Tai Chi. Place your right hand on top of your left as if you have a ball. So a lot of Tai Chi moves involve this ball or a Chi ball. Just energy. Chi means energy. So pretend you have a ball and you're just going to circle with it. You can bring the left hand on top and then the right hand on top. Just look at your hands. So throughout Tai Chi, we're going to watch your hands. That is your focus. Now you're going to move that ball to the side, left hand on top. And then move the ball to the other side, right hand on top. This time when we go to the right, you're going to step out with the, I'm going to scoot back, so I want to make sure you see my feet. You're going to step out with the right foot into a lunge. Left hand's going to be on top. Bring the ball in front of you. Cross the knee. And then you're going to flip the right hand on top and shift back onto your back leg. Left hand on top. Right hand on top. Hold the ball. Shift back. Inhale. And exhale. Remember, we all could hold our breath a different amount of time or inhale. Say you can inhale 5 counts, make this 5 counts. Exhale as long as you can. If you can inhale for 9 counts, make this slower. So you're not necessarily moving at my same tempo. Shifting to the back leg. Pausing with the breath as you flip it. Watching your fingers at all times. Knowing I am here. I am present. My body is present. Look at your fingertips. Look at your palm. Just acknowledge you're here today. You're looking down at your hands. Make sure you've retracted your head so the head is not out here in a protracted place. Make a double chin and look down. Now the other foot's going to come in front. The left foot. Right hand on top. I'm going to skip back. You're going to shift your weight to the back leg as you come back. Inhale as you come forward, lean into the front leg. So all the weights, 70% of the weight is in your front leg. Flip it. 70% of your weight goes to the back leg. This is why Tai Chi is so great for your balance. It's teaching weight shifting. We have lots of research on balance and Tai Chi. You're also learning where your body is in space. All of your soft tissue talks to your brain, your ligaments, your tendons, your muscles. They're constantly talking to the brain and telling your brain where they are in space. And your brain is interpreting that, and that's your balance. If your brain knows where it is in space, you have balance. If it is not communicating well, you don't have balance. We call that proprioception. So as I shift back onto my back leg, these tissues take over and start talking to my brain. And then I shift onto the front leg, and the tissues on the back leg are backing down, and the tissues on the front leg are revving up, talking to the brain. Building the communication system between the soft tissues and the brain. Increasing your imbalance without even standing on one foot. Inhaling forward, pausing, exhaling back. Tai Chi is a mind game because your mind wants to stop. Your mind wants to go, you know what, I want to think about the past and the future. I want to bounce around again. I want to jump around from thing to thing to thing to thing like a 2-year-old. But Tai Chi is disciplining the mind to go, no, you're going to do this over and over. You're going to focus. You're going to build discipline of focus. You're going to stay with this. You're going to stay with your breath. You're going to stay with this repetitive movement no matter how bored you think you are. You're going to stay with it. And that, my friend, is discipline. And mind control. Once you start building your mind, it's kind of like the Karate Kid when he's painting the fence. The Asian guy makes him, Mr. Miyagi, makes him paint the fence over and over and over before he actually teaches him things, because he has to learn that God is in the details. It is the monotony of where life really is. If you stay with it and focus on it, you'll develop a reverence for it, and you'll see the piety in it, the beauty, the day-to-day. We are going to add walking to this. You're going to step forward with the right foot and bring it across. Then you're going to step forward with the left foot and bring it across. Or keep doing what you're doing if you don't feel comfortable. Now we're going to go backwards, right foot. And we're going to go back to what we were doing, just shifting. We'll get more and more advanced as we go through this 12 weeks. Then bring the feet together. Take a big inhale up. And then exhale, arms open. You're going to reach down towards the floor and grab up all the jewels of the earth and slowly roll up through the spine, dragging the jewels up. It's as if your hands are a shelf and you're pulling those jewels all the way through the inner body, all the way through the mind, and up into the heavens, reach. Exhale, just go as low as you can. If you have a traumatic brain injury or any head things going on, you don't want to drop the head below the heart, that's fine. You can do this from the knees. Exhaling as it drops. Gather up the jewels of the earth as if they're sitting in your hands. And you're driving them up the legs, up the spine, every level of the spine, through the heart, through the throat, through the third eye, through the top of the head, and up. Exhale. Through the feet. If you know the chakra system, you're taking all the jewels of the earth and pressing them through the spine, through the first chakra, the second chakra, third, fourth, fifth of the throat, sixth, and seventh. We'll do the colors this time. Pulling it up through the tailbone, the red, orange, yellow at the belly, green at the heart, blue at the throat, indigo at the forehead, purple at the top of the head, and then a white light as those colors converge together. Just standing, looking up slightly, retract your head, then look up so that the back bend happens at the low cervicals. Breathe, turn the palms upwards, shine a white light through your palms into the heavens, and say your prayers. Exhale, hands come to the heart. And let's go to meditation from there. So go ahead and lie down. Put your socks on. You don't think you'll get cold because you're nice and warm, but you will. And I'll turn the camera. Drop your jaw. Release around your eyes and around your mouth. Let your feet just flop open. Feet are wide. Turn your palms up. Arms kind of reach out like a gingerbread man. Belly softens. Lengthen out your back. Let your shoulders blades walk down your back a little. Wiggle it out. Do anything you need to get more comfortable, like take off a watch or getting the wrinkles out of your shirt. Wrinkles will be distracting, believe it or not. Release around your eyes. Release around your mouth. Gather up the past. Gather up the future. Set it on a cloud and let it float away. Past does not exist. The future does not exist. Go to a safe place, a place that you like, whatever that environment is. Maybe it's somewhere you've been in the past or you've seen in a picture. See all the colors. Feel how natural it feels to be here. Imagine that feeling becoming more and more strong within your body. Now that you feel comfortable, now that you feel confident that you can go inward, we're going to connect with our higher self. Our higher self is going to guide us through this situation, this experience of transforming and becoming more worthy. Our higher self resides in our heart. Look around your inner world and notice that there's a doorway. There's a doorway in the middle of the room, freestanding. Now walk over to this door. Notice what the door looks like. And notice that on top of the door it says, your connection to your higher self. Put your hand on the door handle, turn it, open up the door. Notice that you see steps going down. And you can tell that there's light at the bottom of a room. Now what we're going to do is we're going to begin to take steps down into this room. And with every step we take, we're going to feel an increase of love in our body. We're going to feel an ability to easily let go. We're going to feel more present to the moment than we did before with every step that we take. Start taking steps down. Take a step. Take another step. Notice how it feels. Put your hand on the railing as you go down. Every step you take, you can feel yourself becoming more and more confident, more and more connected to your higher self. Now we're about 10 steps away, and I'll count down from 10 to 1. With every number I count, you're going to feel yourself get closer to the bottom of the door. You're going to feel yourself increase the love inside of your heart. Feel yourself become more into the moment. 10, take a step. Feel more love in your body. 9, every number I count, double the amount of love inside of your heart. 8, allow this energy to flood through your body. 7, 6, as you take another step, you can feel double the amount of love inside of your heart. 5, you're getting closer to the bottom of the stairs. 4, 3, 2, double the amount of love again. 1, you are now at the bottom of the stairs. And as you turn, you can see a chair in the middle of the room. This is a chair you can go to anytime you want. And in this chair, you're going to easily be able to remember any past experience that you intend to. You're going to be able to find out whatever you want to find out. It's going to be easier than ever for you to find out what you need to know. Now go ahead and walk over to the chair. Notice what the chair looks like. Notice how comfortable it looks. Now set the intention right now that when you sit in the chair, you're going to be able to easily remember any memories that you want, any memories I guide you towards. You're going to remember what those memories are, and you're going to feel strong and the ability to feel anything that comes up. And you are going to let go of what no longer serves you. Turn around and sit. And as you sit, you feel how comfortable it is. You know right now you're going to be able to let go of what doesn't serve you. Notice in this chair that it's so easy for you to ask and get answers. This is a chair of awareness. This is a chair that you can use to become aware of any inner work, any memories, anything you want. I'm going to direct your focus to what you call your past. Understand that your past does not equal who you are. You are who you choose to be. And sometimes there may be some patterns in the past that you haven't dealt with, that you haven't felt completely. Today we're looking at worthiness and feeling whole and complete, feeling like we are enough, understanding that in the past there might have been a situation, a circumstance, when we felt like we weren't enough, where we felt like we had to become something or someone in order to protect ourselves. Now look and begin to become aware of any memory that surfaces from your past. It can be from when you're young or any time, with an experience of you feeling not full and complete. What is the first memory you have of not feeling whole and complete? Where you felt like you weren't enough? What memory comes to your mind? How old were you? Begin to pay attention, because now the memory's coming and surfacing. You can see it more and more. How old were you when this happened? Who else was there in this memory? Pay attention to what you see. Pay attention to what you can hear. Notice that this memory is surfacing. You can see it more and more. You are more aware of what this memory is. You're bringing this memory from the subconscious into the conscious. Now, whatever memory this is, become aware of what you felt in this memory, in this experience. Set the intention that right now, whatever happened, let it be okay for you to feel whatever emotion comes up. In the feeling of whatever comes up is the freedom for you to let it go. It's the releasing of the energy. How did you feel in this circumstance, in this situation? What perspectives did you have? What emotions did you feel? Allow yourself to feel these emotions. Allow yourself to feel and soak in whatever that experience is. Feel it. It is okay. If you feel like releasing emotion, it's okay. Let yourself feel whatever comes up. It's okay. Allow yourself to feel any emotions that you feel right now, knowing that in the feeling of the emotion is the freedom. You can allow yourself to feel whatever is coming up. Relive this experience. Allow yourself to feel any emotion. Pay attention to what is happening. Be present with it, because in the presence of this experience is the release, is you letting go. Now notice this memory may have been stuck in your subconscious and you've been carrying it around ever since it happened. Because in a moment you decided you had to be some way that the world wants you to be. You had to change yourself somehow. Know that now you can let go of all of that. You can allow yourself to be how you are. This isn't about changing the past. That isn't about changing the emotion. It's just about experiencing 100%, because in the experience is the closing of the pattern. Simply know that by you feeling the emotion like you just did, you are allowing a powerful release to happen. You are allowing yourself to feel whatever comes up. These emotions aren't good or bad, they simply are. And by you feeling them, you are now allowing them to free themselves, to leave you. Now notice how much more freedom you feel. Notice how much lightness you feel inside your body. You are beginning to let go of the patterns that no longer serve you. They have served you up until this point, but now you are aware that you can let them go. That you can shift yourself into a new way of being. A way of being where you experience life. And whatever comes up, knowing that emotions are not good or bad, they just are. And the more you allow yourself to experience life, the more alive you will feel. Now be grateful that you were able to feel these emotions, that you were able to heal yourself from this past memory, this past experience. And to know that now you have closed the pattern. You have completed the pattern. From this point going forward, you are a completely new person. You are no longer living the scripts of your past. You are no longer carrying around disturbances in your energy field. And you now are who you are meant to be. Now you can come back to this chair anytime you like to sort through other memories and to feel the emotions and complete the patterns. You can always come back to this meditation and this chair. Notice right across from you is another chair. And this chair is much more majestic. It has embroidered gold on the handrails. Go ahead and get up. Walk over to the bigger chair. Notice how much more comfortable the chair is. In this chair, you can sit in it anytime you do. You're going to feel more love and more worthiness than you ever have before. Notice that on this chair is a dial. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn around, sit down, and we're going to be able to feel the true vibration of who we really are. So I'm going to ask you now to turn around, sit down. Notice how comfortable it is. Notice that it's perfectly made for you. Feel the vibration of comfort, of this energy that you begin to feel building from your body because you know what's about to happen. Now notice that this dial on the right side, on the right arm of the chair, we're going to begin to increase the love frequency of who we really are. Right now the dial is at 1. We're going to 10, which is the maximum amount of love. Every notch that we move this dial up, you are going to feel an increase and a flood of love and worthiness throughout your body. You're going to feel more energy in your body than ever before. You may find that you are releasing because it feels so good. You're going to feel more love inside of your heart that you didn't even know was possible. But right now, we're going to feel this true vibration more than ever before. We're going to move this dial from 1 to 10. From every number I count up, you're going to feel the amount of love double from the number before. You're going to feel the amount of love of who you really are. It's going to flood through your body. Notice right now, you can already feel it inside your heart center. Now move the dial from 1 to 2. Now you can feel it. It increases through your feet, all the way up to your heart. You can feel it tingle more and more. 3, feel it double throughout your body. Move it up to 4 and increase in this level of love. You're starting to feel it flood through your entire whole body. 5, even more love. So you feel so whole, so complete. 6, feel it increasing even more. It's moving through your legs, your heart, your organs. 7, 8, double the amount of love. Double the amount of sensation flowing through your body, whatever it is to come up to 9. And now here we go to the maximum amount of love that you'll ever felt in your life. 10, feel this energy throbbing through your entire body out into the planet. Know that you are whole and complete, knowing that this is who you are. This is who you really, really are. You are enough. I am enough. I am whole. I am complete. As I am. This is who we are. Let this emotion flood through your body. Feeling anything that no longer serves leaves you. You let it go. It moves away because you've improved your frequency to who you really are. It cannot reside in that frequency. In this higher vibrational state, you can get any guidance you want from your higher self, from the divine, from your guides, anything you want to know clearly, ask that question. Ask what that is and pay attention to the answer that comes up, because you will get an answer. Knock and you shall receive. Ask if there's any message for you from your higher self, the divine, your guides, your guardians. Pay attention to what comes up. Allow yourself to continue to soak in this vibration. Knowing that from this point going forward, you are forever changed. You have completed a past memory and let it go. You've decided to experience it and let it go. You've wired in more love than ever before. And as you go throughout your day today, you will notice people respond to you in a new way. You notice that you relate to life in a new way. You feel more love in your life than ever before because you know you are worthy. You are enough as you are. Soak in this vibration. Continue to lie here, or wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take a big inhale, reach above your head and stretch. Exhale, roll to your right side in a fetal position. Push your way up to a seated position that you like. Place your hands in front of your heart. As you exhale, lower your ego mind below your compassionate heart in reverence. Inhale as you rise. And namaste. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. This was fun.